What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Episode 21.
2-1.
We are here.
Big ticket.
Yeah, KG.
That's right.
21 Savage. There's a lot of 21s. Blackjack is at 21.
Not us anymore, though.
Drinking age is at 21.
Yeah.
21, kind of a big number.
Great number.
Yeah, some would say. Monumental year.
What's going on today, David?
Not a whole lot, Chris. Just dealing with the cold. And it's coming. It is coming.
Yeah, would you rather have this the whole time?
This weather?
What it's been like? Yeah.
Or, what's my other option?
Or what's coming?
No, I don't like snow.
Me neither.
I don't like snow because then it freezes and then driving is just a disaster.
The hard part is it's been so gloomy.
Yeah.
It's like really dark in the morning, too.
It's very dark in the morning.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, everywhere is getting hit.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's rain, snow. We'll see.
But you
could
didn't
make a big difference in the NFL games.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. You didn't come here to talk about
the weather.
Listen to the weather app, so here we go.
Yeah, bang. Minnesota Minute. Timberwolves still in first place. They're currently at 25-10. They're playing the Magic tonight, Tuesday. They play at Boston tomorrow, and then home against the Trailblazers Friday. Minnesota Wild are 17-8-4. They play at Dallas, and then they play the Flyers and the Coyotes coming up. Minnesota Gopher basketball, men's basketball, beat Maryland.
Well, yeah.
And they play Indiana here coming up. Getting close to that tick.
They did.
Getting close to that 12-13 wins.
They keep winning.
Yeah, and then the last one, this is our first time talking about it. Professional Women's Hockey League started up. The Minnesota team is 2-0. They play Toronto and New York coming up. I think there's only 6 teams. Mm-hmm. But they are 2-0.
It's weird how they don't have like a team name.
It's just Minnesota.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe next year. I think it's got to get... It's still a new thing. Obviously. Brand new.
Yeah, but I feel like part of the appeal of sports is like, oh, that's a sick logo. Or, oh, that's a sick team name. You know? It's just like, all right, we're the purple team.
Yeah, it's like you're playing in-house. Playing the orange team today, Chris.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's a professional sport. They should have logos and team names.
Yeah. Maybe they just need someone to create a logo for them.
What do you think their team name should be? That goes along with the purple theme. Off the top of your head.
Wait, are we purple? We are purple.
Yeah.
Minnesota. Well, the first thing obviously is Vikings that comes to my head, but I'm not saying that.
Unfortunately, that's taken.
The Minnesota.
I think I got a decent one.
What's an intimidating?
I think I got a decent one.
What's yours?
Minnesota Valkyrie.
That's a team, isn't it? I think that's already a team.
I don't think so.
Wait, I feel like that sounds like a team. Google search that.
Minnesota Valkyrie.
Doug, I'm telling you.
Rugby?
Yeah, I'm telling you. I think that's a team. Oh my God, Chris. That's our... Say it. What is the Minnesota Valkyrie? Go ahead, Chris.
It's a women's American football team.
Yep. Okay. So.
Is that?
That's real. It looks real. It looks real.
I mean, yeah, but...
So that's... Unfortunately, Chris, that's out of the picture as well.
It was established in 2011 and folded in 2013. It was around.
Yeah, but you already have... But you can't... Yeah, but you can't... That's their team name.
Well, that's just really unfortunate because...
That is a good team name.
They used the team name, and now you can't use it anymore. Correct. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's a bummer. But...
And it's purple.
Yeah. I mean, literally a spin-off. It's literally a spin-off of the Vikings.
Dang, I thought
that logo?
I was pretty happy with that, what I came up with.
Well, sorry to hear that, Chris. That was a good team name, but...
Well,
yeah, get that off your computer before you get a bug or something.
Literally.
Yeah, it's the lingerie football.
Oh my gosh. All right, anyways.
That's a warning.
Let's go round. We're good with the Minnesota Minute. We're on
that's it.
Round table. We're talking college football championship.
Yeah, kind of a disappointing game, I think, in retrospect as a fan.
In what regard?
I think coming out, you kind of wish that Washington... I mean, the game final score was what? 34-13 or 31?
34. Yep.
And Michigan, I mean, they just... Which is crazy because they just had no plan to stop the run. I think they ran for over 200 yards in the first half.
They did, yeah.
And it's kind of like...
It was on a lot of big plays. I mean, they had a 41-yarder, they had a 46-yarder, and they had a 59-yarder.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. But if you're that defense, like, make him throw the ball. That's what they're built off of.
Yeah.
They're literally a running. I mean, you knew they were going to ground and pound.
Well, yeah, but I think it's different when like you can hear it and be like, all right, we know they're going to try and run the ball, but actually like doing it in the moment is different.
To an extent. I mean, I think the game plan had to be stop the run first. But yeah, like you said, they were big runs. But I mean, credit to Michigan. Obviously, you guys are cheaters anyways. But you guys win the national championship. That's awesome. Now both teams go to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we were talking about that during the game. And I think it's good because it's like you bring in, 4 teams that actually play offense.
Correct. You bring which is different than the normal Big Ten.
Yeah.
But then it shows yesterday, like the defense. That was unbelievable.
Did end up working for him.
Granted, there was a few throws, probably 3 or 4 throws that Penix Jr. probably should have made. That would have gone for a big play.
Yeah.
And he just missed it. So it will be interesting though. Yeah. But I will say this: do you think now Harbaugh is coming back? There was a rumor that he came out apparently and said that they're going to push spring practice back a week. So now everyone's speculating that he's coming back.
Played an extra week.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why everyone's like, oh, so you're coming back. You're already making that decision. You're coming back as the head coach.
It was probably a team decision.
Yeah. So do you think he comes back?
I mean,
And here's a caveat. If he comes back, will he get another violation for recruiting?
I don't think he'll get a violation. But I think that he'll look long and hard about leaving.
Okay. Yeah.
Like if he's offered a job, obviously, I think he'll take it. I think that makes the most sense for him. Like his quarterback's leaving, his running back's leaving.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of them, right? I think Edwards is.
Is he gonna be back?
I think he's still gonna be back, but I think his wide receiver might be gone too. That Wilson kid.
Roman Wilson, yeah, he'll probably be gone. So like, that's a lot of people.
100%. So we'll see what happens. I mean,
do you think he's gonna be back?
I do think he'll be back. I do actually think he'll be offered an NFL job, but I think he'll decline it to go back.
Really?
Yes.
If he's offered one, I don't see him going back.
I mean, it would be crazy for.
It's just like
going with the roundtable. Like the other aspect, there's been a lot of coaches fired. Like, why wouldn't you give him a chance?
It's the perfect time to leave if you're him. I mean, you just won a national championship. You had a allegation muddled season. So like, I mean, I feel like there's less allegations in the NFL.
There's like no allegations.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time for
him, he was about all the recruiting issues, rules and stuff.
All I got to worry about is people gambling now. And people don't even do that much.
Yeah.
But I will say this, I think with him, like he already has tried out the NFL and like he's already a top dog in college football, so it's like.
Yeah, it's like, how do you want to make your mark?
Yeah, Nick Saban has. I don't know. We'll wait and see. There's a lot of open positions in the NFL.
So you think he's going back for sure?
I think he's going back to college.
Yeah. I think he's going to be gone.
All right. See what happens.
Plus then also, like, if you leave right now after you won a national championship, then you can say, hey, I want this guy to be the new head coach. The guy that was the coach when he was out. Whereas if it's like they're unhappy and it just keeps going and going and going, it's like, all right, no, we want somebody new in here.
Yeah.
Like now he can say, this guy should be the head coach.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see what happens.
Yep. Alrighty. Beer and seltzer, Smirnoff.
Finishing the pack. We got, the first one is the Smirnoff Zero Sugar, Red, White, and Berry. It's like a 4th of July thing. And then the second one is your standard pink lemonade.
Really?
That's what it says. Kind of a cool can.
It seems like that one should be the orange kind.
What?
Like
That's a lemon.
Oh.
I mean, the color fades to yellow.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's orange. Yeah.
I can hold that for you.
Yeah.
No,
Interesting.
I was going to hold that for you. Yeah.
All right. So red, white, and berry.
Red, white, and berry.
Probably going to be some color, huh?
Probably going to be red, yeah.
You think so? I was going to say blue. Yeah. Come on, Chris.
It is blue.
I know. Bang.
You've had it before?
You know? No, I actually haven't, but didn't we already have a red one?
Yeah. The cough syrup one.
Yeah, cough syrup. This might also be cough syrup, to be honest.
You think? I don't think so.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be better than that one. This one will probably be I think the best one because pink lemonade is pretty hard to mess up.
If anybody's gonna mess it up, it's probably the zero sugar Smirnoff.
Yeah, some would say. All right.
I have high hopes for the pink lemonade though.
I mean, they're.
Let's do that in a second.
Well, yeah. So this is the red, white, and berry.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's gonna be like blueberry then?
Yeah, I think it'll be. Like blue raspberry.
Blue raspberry. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's.
I think it's a little bit.
I think that's the flavor. Not too bad. I like it. I can say for sure I like it better than the cough syrup one.
But I also think this one I feel like when you first take a sip has a little bit more carbonation. It feels like hits your lips when it hits it, but
the flavor is definitely trying to block the fake sugar flavor.
Yeah. Yes.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah, I think it's actually got a decent amount of flavor. I don't think it necessarily tastes like blueberry though.
What do you think it tastes like?
It kind of has more of a hint of like a raspberry with a little blueberry. Maybe a mixture. Maybe just a berry. I don't think it's bad though. I think it's one of the better ones. But yeah, kind of a cool can. So red, white, and berry.
Now that you mentioned like the flavor and the look that it's blue and the can, now I can picture what the glass bottle, the non-zero sugar option
For this one?
like. Yeah.
Oh.
It's literally the exact same
Color?
Color scheme.
Yeah.
And I can picture the bottle, the glass bottle, and it's
The
blue.
same thing?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll give it a 5.8.
Okay.
I don't think it's bad. I think it has some good flavor. I think the carbonation is a little bit more, but compared to the cough syrupy one and the other one, I think this one's up there with the first one we tried, but just the original.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, because I think this one, the carbonation, like you said, kind of takes over from the fake sugar, which I think the second one we did, the cough syrup one, had a lot more that taste. So
I agree. I'm gonna go. What did you give it?
5.8.
I'm gonna give it a 4.2.
So we're moving up.
We're moving
slowly.
Up. Had to be more than the last one, otherwise you might see some liquid come out of my mouth instead of put it in there. But 4.2, better than the last one. Still not like my favorite. Yeah, obviously, but you know.
Yeah, the whole pack's been a little tough. The last one, pink lemonade. I guess we probably would have to say we have higher hopes for this.
Fingers crossed, please. Okay.
It doesn't. Well.
First thought.
I will say my first thought, to be honest, was going to be that this was going to be more cough syrupy because it's super dark. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of similar to the blue one where it has a lot of carbonation and fizz.
Yeah, that was my first thought. It's almost like if you put some in your mouth and close your mouth, like you can hear the fizzing, kind of like Pop Rocks.
Yeah, it's kind of similar. I feel like it's like I feel like it tastes to me like a...
Wait, do that one time.
To like a Sprite.
Put some in your mouth, close your mouth, and then just feel the fizzing in your mouth.
Well, you can hear it.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Just like the Pop Rocks.
Yeah. I will say, though, this one's crazy. I mean, it's not bad. It doesn't have a ton of pink lemonade flavor, but it has like enough.
Which is a little disappointing.
Yeah, I was expecting more, but I think it's still better than... Like I said, still better than this cough syrup one. And I think it's very similar to the blue one where, like you said, the carbonation is the thing that takes over from the fake sugar. Yep. But I think I would like a little bit more flavor.
Pink lemonade flavor.
Yeah, because I think pink lemonade's solid.
It's tough to mess up pink lemonade.
Yeah.
And
I would say they didn't mess it up. They just didn't full potential it.
Yeah, how many people do you know that don't like pink lemonade? Maybe one hand.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time I had a pink lemonade, but it's not bad.
But you like it.
Yeah.
When you do have it, it's not easily accessible.
Right. Yeah. I would say pink lemonade is probably more preferred than lemonade.
I would say so too.
So, in my opinion.
All right. So, what are you giving it?
I'm gonna give it a 5.7. Right below the other one. I think they're very comparable.
Really?
I think it's actually pretty good. I don't know. These are pretty easy to drink besides the cough syrup one.
Mm-hmm.
But these ones are actually probably decent. They're just, it's kind of similar to the original where it tastes like juice. It tastes like juice with a little bit of fizz. Actually, a lot of bit of fizz.
Yeah, a lot of fizz.
But, so.
Okay. I didn't think that you were going to give it less than the first one. I'm going to give it a 4.6.
Still moving up.
We're moving up. I think it was the best one of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say that it was crazy good because obviously it was a 4.6 and that was the best in the pack. But I would say it's the best of what they got.
Yeah. So
I don't know, just zero sugar.
I guess the sugar, yeah, maybe plays a part.
Well, the issue is we talked about it last time. Zero sugar, but they still added sugar.
Fake sugar.
Yeah.
Zero real sugar, lots of fake sugar.
Yeah. So, what are we doing here?
Yeah. So, I don't know. All right, that's pack. And that is what they call
a review. Yeah, there you go.
Bang, bang.
All right. Let's move to NFL here. We have made it.
We have the playoffs.
To the playoffs.
Playoffs.
That's right.
So we are here. Kind of a crazy. I shouldn't say crazy. A little bit crazy of a last weekend. The Bills game was kind of disappointing here's the question I have. Are the Dolphins not good?
They're just going through some things right now.
Yeah, I guess. Damn.
Got some injuries.
Yeah. It's tough. But
that game was weird.
It was very weird.
Two of my favorite teams to watch, other than the Vikings, probably the top two favorite teams that I have to watch, other than the Vikings.
Yeah.
And
I think they're so fun to watch because they're so high flying.
Exactly.
They just score.
Exactly. Yeah, kind of disappointing. The other notable thing was the Jaguars just completely biffed it.
Yeah.
How disappointing for them.
Yeah, I will say, that was very tough. At the beginning of the year, they should have been they were the clear favorite for that.
Clear favorite.
And
even halfway through the year, they were the clear favorite.
Yeah, and I will say this, I give a lot of credit, and they're very fun to watch now. I think Houston is very fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud's a beast, and Nico Collins is a stud, and even after losing Tank Dell, it's they didn't really lose a step, and they might have lost a little step, but I think when you look at it, in my opinion, it's just they've cemented. They were projected 3 wins this year? 4 wins? 3.5?
Something like that.
It was low.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
And so now you have a potential coach of the year and stuff like that. And it's crazy. Good for them. They're going to be fun to watch. They play the Browns first week, so should be a good matchup at home. So
yeah. All right. So this is how we're gonna approach this playoff conversation. We've got a couple different leading questions for each conference, and we're just going to talk through it. So if you're interested in looking at the playoff bracket, we think that you can look that up yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens we're going to start with the AFC.
Okay.
I guess we can just give a little breakdown of where people are at.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we got the Ravens that got the bye, so they don't play this weekend. We have the Texans, the Houston Texans, and the Cleveland Browns starting off the weekend, Saturday afternoon. And then you have the Chiefs playing the Dolphins, so the Chiefs hosting the Dolphins, Saturday night. And then on Sunday during the day, so the first game, you have
it's Bills, Pittsburgh.
The Bills and the Steelers.
Yep.
Ugh. So those are the 3 matchups for the AFC this week. First question. So the Ravens, they're the 1 seed. They've had a very good season so far. They
Yeah.
beat down on the 49ers.
Yep.
They beat down on the Dolphins.
Mhm.
So, in theory, they've beaten down on two of the most competitive teams that they might have to face
Yep. I would
going
go.
forward.
Yeah.
So, specific to the AFC,
Yep.
which team do you think is the biggest opposition that they're going to face? Or do you think that they're locked into getting to the Super Bowl at this point?
I would say the one team that could probably give them a headache is Buffalo.
You think?
Yeah, because Buffalo's offense, I mean, I know Josh Allen is guaranteed at least one interception a game, but Buffalo's offense is very high scoring and they can kind of figure it out. And I think with that offense, compared to the other teams in there, I just don't see. I think Kansas City is not very good. I think Houston still is young, and that's a pretty big stage. And you have to go to Baltimore every game. And so I think Baltimore has that advantage. And I just said before, I don't think Miami is as good as they should be.
Yeah.
Granted, they've had a lot of injuries, and they actually got more guys injured. So I think in the AFC, I would have to say Buffalo might give them the best shot. I think they're still going to be Super Bowl bound.
The Ravens.
Yeah. I mean, they have it all. And this is Lamar Jackson's stats don't necessarily say it, but when you watch him play, it's like you still are in awe at what he does.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he just doesn't get sacked. I mean, look at his wide receiving core.
Right. No, you're right. I mean,
He's playing without Mark Andrews.
He's standing back there. He's elusive by himself, but then I feel like whenever I watch them play, he's literally just standing back there in the pocket, and he has so much time. And then once he feels pressure and the defense finally gets pressure on him, he just like escapes and then runs for 10 yards.
Well, and the crazy thing about him is like I think this year, like, and they've said it before too. A lot of like people have said it, but like he's actually looking to like pass. Like before, it was like, okay, I'm going to step back, and if I don't see my first guy open, which usually is Mark Andrews, I'm sprinting.
Yeah,
and good luck catching him.
How Justin Fields has been.
It's correct. And it's like the difference though. It's like he's now standing in the pocket. He's like kind of like an oh shit moment where he's like, okay, there's a guy behind me, and I'm just going to elusive. And if I have to run, I'll run. But then also what makes him so dangerous is once he starts running, he's now been like, okay, I can still throw it and do whatever. So, and I think that defense is incredible.
Do you think that it's because of him maturing on his own? Do you think it's because they got a new offensive coordinator? Do you think that it's because he signed a contract and doesn't want to take a bunch of hits? Like, what do you think the biggest reason for the change is? Yeah,
I think it probably has to do with the offensive coordinator definitely has to do with it, but I think it does have to do with the fact of like, hey, you're our future guy. We don't want you taking these hits. I mean, you watch some of these quarterbacks, like these young quarterbacks, like, and some of the hits they're taking, and you're like, dude, stop.
Yeah, they don't
like I mean,
it.
It's crazy to think, and like I get that it's part of the game, but like I watch some of these times with Trevor Lawrence, and it's like, bro, you're literally hurt.
Will Levis.
Yeah, but it's like, bro,
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you're hurt. Like Trevor Lawrence, you're hurt. You're mean so much to this team. Slide.
Yeah.
Or go out of bounds. Like that extra 1 or 2 yards is going to cost you a lot, and I think Lamar Jackson has learned a lot from that. But like you said, I think to your point, I think the offensive coordinator probably also installed it in him, and I was like, hey, we paid you a lot of money. Stay healthy.
Right. No, I think you're right. I'm going to still go with the Bills. I think that.
Yeah, I think the Bills. I mean,
I think they can do it. All right, second question. So I know that you've looked at it, David, but for anybody that is listening, the weather is going to be not great this weekend for the games. Most notably, we got Kansas City. It's like feels like -2, wind, cold, all that jazz. In Buffalo, where the Steelers are going to play, you got cold
snow potential, right?
Potential snow, very cold. So it's going to be a factor in the games.
Big time factor.
Which team do you think it's going to affect the most? Like, which team do you think is going to play under their expectations and be like bad, not good?
Miami. Because I think from not necessarily recency biasy, but I think when Miami goes on the road, they struggle, and in cold weather, they suck.
Okay.
And so I think you have to go play the Chiefs, who I also think have underperformed. But then I look at these other matchups. The only other matchup, at least in the AFC, is Pittsburgh-Buffalo. And I think Pittsburgh has already exceeded expectations, and they like to run the ball, so I don't know if the weather necessarily plays a huge factor in that.
Yeah.
And so I don't even know. I don't know if that game will even be very close. I think the weather kind of helps
The
it.
Chiefs and the Dolphins?
No. Pittsburgh-Buffalo.
Oh,
that's why the only other game potentially that's outside is that Miami-Kansas City, and I just don't see Miami playing very well in the cold weather.
I think they're the most like they're the obvious choice in that question.
Well, there's technically only two, right?
I think there's really only two that are options, and I think you're maybe referring to the Steelers and the Dolphins.
Yeah, Steelers.
I would probably say the two options are the Chiefs or the Dolphins.
Yeah, I think that game.
Yeah.
Well, and that's back to my point, because it's like the Pittsburgh game. Like I said, you're going up against Buffalo, who's pretty hot right now, I would say, and also they're the Buffalo Bills. Like, if you go behind and it's a cold weather game, I don't know if you can really make that up. As much as, like, okay, Miami has a higher flying offense, which is great. But I just don't know. I think that game will be a very fun game to watch. The weather definitely will play an impact, though. So we'll see.
Disappointing. Third question in the AFC, and this is more just a general question. What do you think is the biggest storyline coming into the AFC playoffs?
Like, just in general?
Yeah.
I would probably say the biggest storyline has to be dealing with something with the Houston Texans. You have a rookie quarterback. You have a rookie coach, essentially. Mm-hmm. Like we talked about before, you were projected 4 wins, maybe. And you now you just won your division. Mm-hmm. You're now playing a home game against a Cleveland team who I also think you could say has done very well.
Well, how many are you taking?
2. I'm taking that whole game.
Okay.
But I'm saying my main point would be Houston. I think with those expectations and a rookie quarterback, you now have people who it's like, okay, this team is literally for real. Mm-hmm. So I would say Houston is the biggest storyline in my opinion.
Okay. Well, I was going to take Cleveland.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah. But I'm going to change mine because you already took that game. So I'm going with Buffalo winning 5 games in a row to end the year and to win the division, when everybody was counting them out and pretty much said, wow, it's going to be shocking if they even make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, bang, Josh Allen turned it on and they started running the ball a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden now they're the 2 seed and everyone's like, oh yeah, the Buffalo Bills, they're back. They could definitely make it to the Super Bowl. And it's like literally a month ago, everyone was dogging them big time.
Well, and I think the hard part, I think the thing is they had a lot of defensive injuries, and then it kind of was one of those things where Josh Allen made some dumb mistakes that cost them games. Mm-hmm. But I also think now it's one of those things where when I look at it, it's like, hey, he's starting to play like his old self, where yes, he might make a few mistakes, but he's also going to make that razzle-dazzle play that like he's just known to do. And I think that's why they give him the best chance to compete. I think with the last thing about the AFC, I think the Chiefs are down. I don't think they're very good. Nope. I think the Dolphins aren't very good. I mean, it will be very interesting to see who wins between the Texans and the Browns. I think that would be a very fun game to watch. Mm-hmm. So
I agree. All right, let's move to the NFC. So we've got the 49ers as the 1 seed. They get the bye this week. They don't play. Mm-hmm. And then you have the Cowboys, the 2 seed.
Yep.
They host the Packers on Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
You've got the 3 seed, which is the Lions. They host the Rams on Sunday night.
Yep.
And then you have the Buccaneers. They play the Eagles, and they host them on Monday night.
Yes.
All right, so number 1 question. So the 49ers and the Cowboys have easily been playing the best football in the NFC, I would say.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think.
I was going to say, you know what, I will say this, the one thing, I actually think the Lions have been playing very good football too.
Yeah, but they have more questions.
Yeah.
All right, so first question is it a 2-horse race, or does anybody else have a chance? the 2-horse race being the 49ers and the Cowboys. Is it like crash course to the NFC Championship game for those two teams, or does somebody do the Lions actually have a chance, or did they screw themselves by getting all their guys injured last week?
Yeah.
Do the Eagles have a chance, or are they just totally broken and they
I think they're broken.
lost it halfway through the year and can't find it again?
Yeah, I actually think it's almost like it's a 1.5 horse race. I think, and this might be pretty far, I think it's going to be very difficult to beat the 49ers. I think the 49ers are the best team in the almost in the NFL, to be honest. I hate to say that because now with the in-laws.
We'll see.
But I do think that when it comes down to it, I think the 49ers defense has stepped up. I think their offense is very good. Obviously, they have, Christian McCaffrey probably deserves, I know he's up there for MVP, but if it wasn't a quarterback league, he would win the MVP easily. But yeah, I think when you look at it from that perspective, I actually do think the Lions are good. I do think they screwed themselves a little bit. But with that being said, the Lions were technically still playing for something.
Technically, but not technically. It was a very, very long shot that they would get the 2 seed.
They only needed the Dallas Cowboys to lose.
And the Eagles.
The Eagles got smoked last week. So it was not that far away. And to be honest, they probably should have been scoreboard watching at some point. But
going into the game, I think it was much farther of a long shot.
100%. But then this brings me to my point. I think the Eagles actually will lose to the Tampa Bay, and I don't even think it will be an upset. I think Tampa Bay should win this game. The Eagles' defense is ass. Jalen Hurts has been ass. Yeah. A.J. Brown is hurt.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, these guys are...
Keep going, Devontae Smith.
Is he hurt?
He didn't play last week.
Well, I think he sat out. I don't think he had really that bad a thing.
I don't know, dog.
But I he'll play. But what I'm saying is, their offensive coordinator, and I get that people love Jalen Hurts, their offensive coordinator, this is like a joke. They're running QB draws when Jalen Hurts has one knee that works. He's injured.
Yeah.
And so I think they're terrible. I do think Detroit potentially has a chance, but after the injuries, I think losing Laporta is huge.
Okay, so back to the question.
I think it's 1.5 points. 49ers should win that. Done. Yes, because you also get to play at home, and we saw what happened last time Dallas had to go to the 49ers.
Yeah,
so
good. Okay.
I will say this. I actually think Dallas at home against the Packers, I do think Dallas will smoke them, but I think the Rams will give Detroit a little run for their money.
Yeah.
I do think so.
That's fair.
Should be a high-scoring game.
All right. So the next one, now that you covered the whole conference, what's the storyline that stands out the most to you in the NFC?
Well, it has to be the Eagles suck. The Eagles were literally at one point the Super Bowl favorite, or up there to be Super Bowl favorite, and then they literally just have fallen off the map. Mm-hmm. Their defense has good players. They're one of the worst defenses in the league statistically. Mm-hmm. It's crazy because you look at it, you're like, Eagles defense, oh, they're great. I don't want to play anyone potentially in fantasy that plays the Eagles defense. No, play it. They probably scored their highest week because they can't stop the pass. They just can't stop anything. Right. But then you look at their players on their team and you're like, whoa, they have some big name guys. Mm-hmm. They're terrible. I do also think, well, you can give your storyline, so I don't take it all.
I think the biggest storyline is the past history coming back in this year. So, Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford matching up against each other. And that was, one of the biggest trades in the last 5 years. And then you got Mike McCarthy, coaches the Cowboys now. They play the Packers, who he was the coach for in the past. So it's just it seems like there's a lot of connections from each, in each game. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. My thing was going to be the Rams. I don't think anyone gave the Rams a chance.
No.
At all. And everyone was like, oh, this has got to be Sean McVay's last year. He's washed. He's this. And it's
they look pretty good.
You had an injured Cooper Kupp. Puka Nacua comes out of nowhere, and Matthew Stafford is back.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good matchup. So we'll see what happens, I think. Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know, and I'm not just saying this because biased. I don't know if the Packers will do anything. Cool story. You guys are very young. Sure, you guys were great, but I think you'll get smoked by Dallas.
I do too.
I think Dallas is at home.
Yeah.
Dallas is
all right. The third question, the last one for the NFC. Which player do you think makes the biggest impact in the NFC playoffs?
Which player?
One single player. Overall, which one do you think makes the biggest impact?
In which conference? In the NFC?
In the NFC, yes.
I would say I'm going to go with Brock Purdy.
Really?
Last game Brock Purdy played against the Ravens, awful. Was the MVP favorite. Playing on the best team, so there's high expectations. Last playoffs got hurt, so no one knew. That was like the year everyone was like, oh, if Brock Purdy doesn't get hurt, we're Super Bowl camp. Well, healthy now, good team now, basically the same team, if not better. A lot of expectations. If you guys don't make it to the Super Bowl, this was, I would say, an unsuccessful season for them. I would very much say that, and I would stick by that. You guys paid Chase Young. You guys have an unreal defense. You have 2 MVP candidates.
Yeah.
You guys aren't going to make it? Yeah.
That would not be good.
No offense. If injuries happen, so. But, yeah. Hopefully they can play better. So we'll see what happens.
I'm going to go with CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I think that if the Cowboys are going to do anything substantial, win the 3 games they need to get to the Super Bowl, then he's going to have to ball out for them.
Yeah, I think he'll have to play pretty well. The first week I don't really know. I think he can.
No, I think first week's fine. Like he'll be.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be a superstar.
Yeah.
But like in the second week when they play Detroit or the Rams, most likely, then he's gonna have to
step it up.
Yeah.
I think he'll
be ready to go.
Yeah. And I think what's crazy about him.
The nice part is they play at home until the NFC Championship.
So it's indoors. Yeah.
Right.
And I think the nice thing is with him is they're now focusing on him. Like the offense is around him.
Yeah, he's getting the ball.
Where it's like at the beginning of the year, it was kind of like, oh, we got to get these guys involved. Tony Pollard's got to get his rushes. Like, no. CeeDee Lamb to touch the ball. And this is the thing I will say. When you look at all of these teams, it should be the same story for Buffalo. Stephon Diggs should touch the ball all the time. Travis Kelce, sure. But Tyreek Hill, yeah. Now Houston, Nico Collins, yeah. It's like Detroit, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Literally.
Amari Cooper
and Njoku.
You have Mike Evans, you have Chris Godwin. Philadelphia, give A.J. Brown the ball if he's healthy. It's just like Puka Nacua. These guys just have these superstars that's just like feed the superstars. That's why they're superstars.
That's the name of the game.
But teams don't do it, but we'll see.
No, they don't. It's shocking.
So who do you think comes out of the NFC? Niners? So do you think it's a Niner-Ravens Super Bowl?
Well, I picked the Bills a long time ago.
Okay. Are you sticking with
get
that?
to the Super Bowl, so I'm going to stick with that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the NFC, I think it'll be the 49ers, but
Well, who's your pick? No, don't do any of this I think anymore. Who's your pick?
No,
Put it on the table.
I think it'll be the 49ers.
Okay.
It's if anybody tells you anything different, they're just hoping.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys potentially have a chance, but...
they got a chance.
I don't think...
They're the 2 seed for a reason.
Yeah.
They all got the same record. Those 2 in Detroit have the same record.
Yeah.
But, in reality, beating San Francisco, especially in San Francisco, is a very tall task.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. Should be a
good luck.
Good game. Dang, they have the Chiefs Dolphins are on Peacock.
I know. Oh, yeah. That is...
Wait, that's real? That's an NFL playoff.
That is the stupidest thing.
Wait, so no one can watch it?
Unless you got Peacock.
So if you don't have Peacock, you literally can't watch that game.
Correct. They did that.
Those numbers are going to go way down.
They did it.
Did they do it during the year?
They did it one other time. So I think it's the stupidest thing, and it infuriates me that it's the Saturday night game, which is prime time, best time to watch an NFL football game, especially in the playoffs, and the Dolphins and the Chiefs. That should be a pretty good game. And they put it on Peacock. I think it's the stupidest thing. They did it one other time. It was, of course, the Bills and the Chargers. It was the...
No.
Yes,
Wasn't it the Bills and...
No, it was the Bills and the Chargers because it was the first week of the fantasy playoffs, and it was on a Saturday night. It was the 23rd. So
Christmas?
Yeah, December 23rd. And so, a little fun fact for you, or something that you could look into if you're not trying to pay for the monthly subscription, because Peacock doesn't do any free trials. I found that out because I looked it up. So you have to pay for 1 month of Peacock to watch one game that will last 3 hours. But what I did, and little inside tip for you, if you really want to, you can probably find on TikTok, there's these people that will go live stream, and they'll have the video, and the one that I watched, because I did it for this last game, the one that I watched, it had Fortnite in the back on the TV.
Yeah, so one get
banned. And it said like a night of gaming with me or something like that. And then on the tablet right in front was the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that.
And let me tell you, it started with just under 1,000 people, so like 600 or so that started when I joined, and I joined probably midway through the second quarter.
Yeah,
because before I was just watching Gamecast. Literally by the end of the game, there was over 10,000 people watching this live stream.
Yeah, that's what happens with UFC fights too. People stream that shit all the time.
But it's the stupidest thing. Like, why are we putting this on Peacock? I understand it from a business perspective, but like, it's just.
I actually don't understand it from a business perspective. I don't understand
because
how
they want people.
Yeah, but I don't understand how ABC doesn't just buy that spot.
Well, NBC owns Peacock, so they have the whole Saturday for both those games.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is, how do you not have it where it's like, okay, ABC, you guys get. Why don't you just do the same amount of games for everything? Like, NBC has 3 games, ABC has whatever, Fox, whatever. I mean, like I'm saying, this game right here, Miami, Kansas City, will be the lowest viewed game because it's on Peacock.
Yeah, easily.
So the business decision, people hate Peacock now. I hate Peacock.
Yeah, but think about all the people that will actually like buy the game or buy the monthly subscription to watch the game.
Yeah, I guess it would be very interesting to see those. It would be very interesting to see those like statistics wise and like sure business whatever, but you piss a lot of people off.
Right.
So
I mean, in theory, it's similar to how the Thursday night games are on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I would say more people probably have a Prime account though.
Oh, 100%. But it's the same general basis.
Yeah, to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, if Peacock offered something else, the nice thing about Amazon Prime is it's a shipping service.
You get everything.
So it's like, yeah, but we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Dumb.
Alrighty, we're going to talk briefly.
College hoops.
We'll give it a little sprinkle of college hoops.
Yeah. Actually, fun fact for you.
Live.
There are no more undefeated teams.
That's right.
Houston just lost live to Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
They were the last undefeated team. So they are no longer undefeated. So coming at you live.
Fun fact for you.
That is.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking that at this point in all of Division One that there's no undefeated teams. I feel like that's pretty
uncommon.
Very uncommon.
Yeah. Well, I think it shows how and I mean just even talking.
We mentioned it last week.
Well, it's just that there's just so much more parity across the boards, and there's also where now it shows where it's just like, I mean, when you look at it, yes, Iowa State is actually not a bad team, but I don't think a lot of people would have had Houston losing to Iowa State.
No.
So I think it's one of those things where every game is so important in college, and like you said, the parity across the board is just so different. Now it's just so much more competitive. There's not one team
this year specifically.
You look at this top 10. I mean, these teams can flop and flip and flop and whatever a lot.
Yeah,
but there's no team that you're like, that team is a title contender easily.
Right.
There's a lot of them.
Now that we've gotten into conference play, you'll see more flipping and flopping because they're playing teams that actually know them. It will be. I know that Houston was the last undefeated team, but it will be something to watch as they start to work through the Big 12 schedule because it's their first year in the conference, right? So they're a little bit of a unknown to their opponents, but also their opponents are a little bit unknown to them. I mean, everybody can find the film of every team, but it's different until you're actually like in it.
Well, and also going to like a different teams. Like there's differences when you're playing in one conference versus the other. Going to like an away game, like the atmospheres are different.
But yeah, playing at Iowa State just like tonight.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's nice. I think it'll benefit those teams in the sense that like before, Houston was always a team that's like, oh, they could win the championship, but then it's always the argument like, well, have they played really?
You don't fully know.
Right. You don't know how that team's going to respond.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, okay, we quote unquote get punched in the mouth earlier than actually in the tournament when it matters. So
right.
See what happens. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot. There's a lot of good teams out there. I guess you could say there's a few great teams, but it's like the same thing. I don't think there's been a team that stayed at number one for more than 2 weeks?
I think Purdue's been there for a couple weeks now.
Okay.
But it would not shock me if they lost in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, just a game. Any game.
Mm-hmm.
Because they lost to what? Northwestern?
They did, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think Purdue's probably shown that they're consistently the strongest team.
Yeah.
And they have less holes than other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like less areas that are lacking than other teams.
Yeah. Well, it's a very similar Purdue team to last year.
Yeah, but they have their guards are a year older because they were both freshmen last year. So they have a year of experience under their belt, and those two specifically can score better than they could last year.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes more off of Edie's shoulders.
Right. Well, and I think that's what's shown too, especially early on in the year, is like if Edie might have his 15 rebounds, whatever, but if he only has 10 points, they can still win handily because those point guards can take over the games and have 20-some points.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's also what hurt them. I mean, last year, obviously experience matters in the tournament, but last year you could see like when they went down in the first round and they tried to shoot their way back up. If you're not having a good shooting day, that's what also hurts you. So that's when Edie is so dependent.
Yeah.
I think I would say this year, similar to last year, I don't know if they'll lose in the first round, but I don't know if they'll make it all the way. I think they do have that big hole. If you take out Edie and they don't have a good shooting night, you could beat them.
Well, that's every team.
Yeah, to an extent, but what I'm saying is like I think they put a lot of things like Edie is the main focus of that offense.
Right.
So if you take him out of the game, I don't know. I mean, I think
this year they're set up better for if he has a bad game.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not picking them to win the whole thing.
Okay.
So
you heard it here first. If you're in a bracket challenge with David,
I'm not picking.
Don't
Purdue.
let him pick Purdue.
I won't.
Okay.
Or
you're in a bracket challenge with David. You already know that he's not picking Purdue to win, so you can use that to your advantage.
Go for it. If you want to pick them, go for it.
Okay. What else? Which team in the top 10 has surprised you so far? Or are you like, they're not all that? We've already talked about Purdue.
Well, I think Oklahoma's very interesting. I haven't really paid a lot of attention to Oklahoma, but 13-1. I know Arizona. Arizona's been kind of fun to watch. Caleb Love's over there. And like North Carolina's making a push too, but I would say Oklahoma, I don't really know enough about them.
Mm-hmm.
But 13-1 is a solid start to the year.
I mean,
What's their coach's name? Who's that guy?
He came from Loyola Chicago. It's Porter Moser.
Porter Moser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think they're a good team. I mean, your one loss is North Carolina. Granted, when you look at their schedule, they have not played anybody besides maybe a USC team.
They just
beat Iowa State at home.
No, by
just
8.
By 8.
Yeah.
But you got enough TCU on the road, and you got
They
Kansas.
beat Arkansas.
I think Arkansas is
Providence. I think they've been ranked.
Providence? Really?
Haven't they?
I don't know. I didn't think Providence was that good this year. Arkansas also is very whack. 7-2 when that happened. 11-4.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
Decent.
A little stretch here, not great, but
I mean, Creighton. They lost to Creighton. They're good.
you can make an argument that a lot of these teams are good. They beat Marquette.
Creighton's not ranked. Where are they in the standings there? I mean, here's the thing.
They're 11-4. They're the same as Providence.
Really, but they're not ranked. Huh.
Well, Providence ain't ranked.
Well, they're 2-2 in the what is that? Big East.
Yeah. Bad.
Here's the thing. We're at the beginning of January, And it's very easy. And there's no fault to anybody that up until this point, it's kind of been football centric. January, the week after the national championship for college football, I think is when the tides start to turn. We reach the NFL playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
College football is done. The NBA is in the middle stretch of their season, so it's kind of loses.
It's a grind.
It loses the excitement a little bit because, I mean, it's an 82-game season. It takes a long time to get through that. So we're like, I mean, we talked about it last week. We were approaching the halfway point. We're pretty much right around the halfway point now.
Mm-hmm.
Almost not quite there, but right around the halfway point. So we're only halfway there. Now it's like, all right, college basketball, this is your time to shine. Other than March Madness, this is like the conference season is starting up. You're playing teams that you don't like because you're in the same conference and you play them every year.
Mm-hmm.
So like now the focus turns to college basketball. So we can really dive in these next couple weeks to learn a lot more about the teams.
Yeah. Well, and I think it also makes it hard when not only are those other sports like in full effect, but also at the same time, these college basketball games they're playing cake teams. They're not fun to watch. Like some games are like the beginning of the season. Like there's some fun games like Kansas plays some teams and all those guys play those tournaments. But like some of these games, it's like dude, they go on stretches where it's like look at the Gophers schedule. I mean they played IUPUI, they played the Sisters of the Poor, they played all these other teams.
That's
now
they couldn't play anybody else.
They're 11 wins. Scheduled. Aren't they 11 wins?
Yeah, but the hard part is if you're a Power 5 conference team and you're not able to schedule all of these other Power 5 conference teams, then I mean it gets to the point where you just need to fill the schedule. So like I think that's where they were at. Yeah. Not saying.
Do you think it's because
right
they weren't very good last year? Like, do you think 100%. That will change after this year potentially if they're decent?
If they continue to be better than the expectations were, then there's no other way to go than up because I think they played one, maybe two teams that were like decent. Missouri and San Francisco probably in their
non-conference.
Yeah. So like when that's the case, I mean you can only go up from there. There's only two notable teams in the 10-11 games that you played non-conference.
Yeah.
So like next year, maybe you got 5 or 6 teams that like people actually know are decent basketball schools on the non-conference schedule.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be nice if the Gophers were in a holiday tournament in some regard.
Just to see what they could do.
Well, not even that, but at least in the tournaments, like chances are you're gonna play teams that are fairly good. Well, and if you win a game, then you definitely play a better team because chances are that team also won.
Yeah. Well, so like, put your name out there. I mean, when you only have what they have last year, 8 wins, 10 wins.
I don't know, something like that.
But it's like, so yeah, I don't know if anyone really wants. But I think here's the thing. I think the nice thing about them is you've already had 2 conference wins, which is probably maximum what people thought they were going to get. Probably you play some tough teams.
We have 3. We beat Nebraska too.
Oh, 3. So you're 3-1.
Yeah.
I mean, you've won. What is it? One of them on the road against the Michigan team, who's not very good, sure, but you still get to play them.
Yep.
So I think it's very interesting. I mean, I think it will be very interesting to see where they go. I mean, the expectations are already so low, so it's like, hey, if they're already that low, like you said, you can only go up.
And our team is young, and so like if the guys stick around, then in theory the expectations would be higher, which means that if the expectations are higher for even next year, then we have a better perceived, like we're perceived to be better, so other teams will want to play us because it will not just be a bad loss if they lose to us.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like, all right, yeah, we beat a pretty good team.
Beat a team that's competent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so we're excited to jump back into college basketball. I know I am. This is like prime time for me.
Yeah,
I'm pumped.
We'll see what happens. I mean, the nice thing is it's like you said, every week, it's like there's games that some teams, like these good teams, are losing that they shouldn't lose, which makes it more interesting to watch.
Yep.
So see what happens.
Yeah, it's fun. And there's that, but there's also like pretty much every week there's 5 to 10 games where it's like, all right, this is a very good matchup.
Oh yeah, Saturdays are always the big time.
Mm-hmm.
So
cool.
It's great.
Okay, we're moving on to Fave 4. And today the topic is going to be Fave 4 bedtime snacks. We're going to get down and dirty with you. Bedtime food.
Whoa. Yeah. Bedtime snacks, food.
Yeah, bedtime snacks.
Yeah.
Our favorite ones.
Here's a question for you. Are you a water drinker before bed?
So typically I will fill up my water bottle
Okay.
without the top on.
Okay.
And I'll fill it all the way up.
Okay.
I'll drink it about a third of the way before bed.
Wait, why do you have the top? What's the significance of having the top off?
So that it's room temperature.
Okay.
And then, so I'll drink a third of it before bed. And
Okay.
then when I wake up, I'll drink the rest of it.
Got it. So when you're drinking it before bed, it's not room temperature.
Correct.
Got it.
So it's more enjoyable to drink. And then it sits on my nightstand overnight. And then when I wake up, I drink the 2/3 of the water bottle in the morning.
So kind of our nighttime drinker.
Yeah, I get a third of the
water.
Third of the 30-ounce water bottle.
Which is?
10 ounces.
That a boy, Chris. That a boy. Quick math. There you go.
Are you a water drinker before bed?
No, because I already have to pee a lot. I don't drink water before bed.
Oh.
I mean, I probably wake up on average 1 to 2 times a night to pee.
That's not good.
It's healthy.
You're too young for that.
It's healthy. You're supposed to pee.
What
You're
do you
supposed to pee a lot.
Not when you're supposed to sleep.
What do you mean? You're supposed to pee. I mean, here's the thing. I go to bed at 10 o'clock. I don't wake up till 7:30.
Okay.
You're going to have to pee at least once.
Well, obviously you're waking up multiple times before that.
I'm waking up at least once, potentially twice. And now it gives me an excuse.
You wake up 2 times in the middle of the night?
There's sometimes I wake up 2 times. I would say I would say people on average wake up at least once in the middle of the night. Go to the bathroom. Oh yeah, I would say most people do. Maybe comment on it, see what happens.
Maybe we'll put out a poll.
Is it more common to wake up at least once during the middle of the night or not? That should be the poll.
No, maybe. All right.
Well, because twice I get it. Yeah, that might be a little much.
What about this? We put a 3-answer poll up.
Okay.
0, 1, 2 plus.
On average. On average.
Yeah.
So this doesn't mean if you do it once, you count it. If you don't do it, if you have 6 days where you do it once, that's basically an average. So like that would count still as 1. So I'm just saying that's 5.
Yeah, the most likely option for you.
Right. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what people say.
Okay. All right.
You don't wake up.
No,
You also go to bed at like 12:30.
I'm a 0.
Well, you also go to bed at you sleep for like 5 hours.
No more. 6 to 7.5.
What time do you go to bed? 12:30?
No, earlier.
Dog, I've gotten text messages from you at 12:30.
On some night, you're talking average.
I'm talking weekdays. It's probably at earliest 11:30.
I would probably say my sweet spot's 11 to 12, and it's usually 11:30 to 12.
Okay, so we'll say 11:30. What time do you wake up?
Like 7.
Okay, so yeah, about 7 hours, 8 hours, 7.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm a 0.
That's crazy.
I don't wake up.
All right, we'll see what the people say. It'll be interesting to see what people say.
Well, it's the first thing. It's the last thing I do before bed, and it's the first thing I do when I wake up.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, we're back to bedtime snacks.
Bedtime snacks.
Dave's gonna call it
heads.
Tails.
Tails.
I mean, I don't think it really matters, but I'm gonna go. I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with ice cream.
Ice cream? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alyssa likes eating ice cream. Not necessarily before bed, but for dessert.
Yeah.
I'm going to go kind of on that trail.
Okay.
I'm going to go with yogurt
Okay.
with trail mix, if that can include that.
Interesting.
I
Yeah,
love
hey, you
dipping
can
my
do whatever
trail
you
mix
want.
in the yogurt. It's that was almost a whole episode without saying a bad word.
What?
Nothing.
No.
Trail mix. The good kind. If you get it from Costco, it comes in like a square one. It's the peanut butter one. It's not healthy for you at all.
That ended 30 minutes ago.
I didn't say that word.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Jalen Hurts.
Sucks. Ass? Ass is not. No. That's a whole nother debate. Ass is not a bad word.
Oh, all right. Anyways.
My next one is, I would say, I do like eating popcorn.
Oh.
Like we have popcorn.
Okay. Are you a salty or a savory guy?
Salty.
My second one is going to be.
What's your favorite kind of ice cream? What do you get ice cream from? Like, what ice cream are we talking about?
I would probably go with cookies and cream.
Cookies cream.
Yeah.
You all talking about like the Ben and Jerry's? Or you talking about like the big ones?
No, big ones.
Big ones.
Yeah.
Bang for your buck.
Bang for your buck. Easy.
Culver's. Maybe one. Maybe treat yourself.
Uh,
How do you eat ice cream before bed too and not have to go to the bathroom? Oh, this is wild.
I don't know.
I mean, my system must be messed.
Yeah, I
need to
think
be doing
so.
what you're doing.
All right, my number 2 is going to be hummus and crackers.
Oh, okay. The red pepper hummus?
I love it. No. Roasted pine nut. Oh, Sabra.
Roasted what?
Roasted pine nut.
Oh, what does that look like? I don't know what that can looks like. Roasted pine nut?
Yeah.
Pine nut? Like P-I-N?
P-I-N-E.
P-I-N-E nut?
Yeah.
Roasted pine nut hummus?
Yes.
What?
Put in Sabra.
No, right, first one.
Yeah.
Not Kirkland?
No.
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah. I've seen that.
Easily the best kind of hummus, and I'll eat it with club crackers. Like that, the short stacks
Of club crackers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could pound a short stack every night.
Nice. Is that like, do you do that, or do you just say you could?
No, I've done it many times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
It's not super healthy, but I do it. Yep.
To be honest, bedtime snacks probably aren't healthy.
Yeah, that's okay. And then my number 3 is going to be graham crackers and milk. This is a throwback to when I was younger.
Wait, what? Like you dip the graham cracker in the milk?
Yeah.
Oh, the regular graham crackers or like chocolate graham
Regular graham crackers.
Okay.
Yep.
White milk or chocolate milk?
White milk.
Low fat, 2% or whatever, skim.
1 or 2%.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a art because you dip it in. You have to like leave it in there for a certain amount of time. If you leave it in for not long enough, it's still a hard graham cracker. If you dip it in, leave it up too long, then it falls into the milk. So you have to find the perfect balance between too long and too short, and then you like take it out of the milk, and then it basically just like melts in your mouth.
So it's kind of like a cookie in milk. Like you got to find that.
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
And
where do you get your graham crackers from?
It's the blue kind. What is that? Honey Made or something like that?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That sounds like something. Honey Made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, you're talking about like the long graham crackers?
Yeah.
Oh.
Honey Made graham crackers.
Yeah.
One of these guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
The ones that you use for s'mores.
Yeah.
But
big
it's
ones.
yeah, it's this.
Got it.
I could pound a sleeve of those too.
Jesus, Martha, you might be pounding a lot of things. All right, my third pick, I'm gonna go with roasted garlic. What are they called? Almonds. Costco bag, big.
That's such a wild call.
Almonds are pretty good. Well, just almonds in general, but that's the specific bag we get. And then the
What
last
kind of almonds?
roasted. I think they're like roasted pepper. They're in this big white bag, white and green bag.
I've never even heard those.
Get them at your local Costco. No free ads, but great
Okay.
store. And then my last pick. You know what? I'm just gonna go with the straight up apple. I love an apple before bed.
Really?
Yeah, I always try to. I will say this: I try to eat at least one apple a day, and I usually never get to it until dinner or after dinner.
You want? I feel like I've read something where apples have something in them that actually works as a stimulant, so it like keeps you awake.
Not for me.
Huh.
I fall asleep. I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna say makes you go to the bathroom. That's accurate.
That's maybe that is the key.
Yeah, maybe that's what I have to cut out.
Okay.
But, all right.
My number 4 is string cheese.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say string cheese.
You did?
Love string cheese. Yeah, so you used to eat that. We used to live together in the house. We used to eat string cheese. I think you were probably the last person that I know that eats string cheese.
It's awesome.
But I'm saying like you're keeping that afloat.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine.
You know what's even crazier? The people that
I think
eat string cheese, but they don't like actually string it out. They just eat it like, you know what I'm saying?
like chomp on it.
Like just take bites of it.
I feel like
I think that's so weird.
Eats string cheese still.
I don't think he eats string cheese anymore.
You know?
No. You want to call him live and see if he eats string cheese?
No.
I would put money that he does not eat string cheese.
Okay.
I will say this. Caveat, after he listens to this, he'll go buy string cheese. I'll guarantee you he goes and buys string cheese.
Probably.
But, alright, there it is.
Well, run through our list. Mine are very dairy focused because I will say I've read somewhere that dairy helps you sleep. But anyways, continue.
I actually think I've heard that too, but dairy also makes you too. But, so my picks are yogurt, trail mix, with trail mix. Mm-hmm. You have popcorn, roasted pepper almonds, and then you have just an apple.
Okay. Mine are ice cream, and if you want to get specific, it can be cookies and cream ice cream. Hummus and crackers, specifically the roasted pine nut. Sabra is number 1 on the power rankings. Number 3 is graham crackers and milk, regular graham crackers, white milk.
That's crazy.
And number 4 is string cheese.
Graham crackers and milk, huh?
Mm-hmm. There you go. Fave 4, episode 21.
Book it.
That's it.
Let us know, baby.
Peace out.
Peace.